Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in, Winning Cures Everything. It is Wednesday, April 28th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the live show. Before we kick things off, Chris, did you see that that it looks like Kansas is down to Lance Leipold and Jeff Monken from Army? We got two guys. I'm pretty happy with either.
I did not see that. I'm okay with, I'm okay with that. Not what I would have done, but I understand it.
I just got a notification about it, and I was like, okay. So, very interesting, nonetheless. But either way, we got a lot to dive into today. It's the day before the NFL draft. So, of course, we're going to be talking NFL, and we are going to discuss, it'll be the lead topic. Let me go ahead and tell you, winningcureseverything.com is the website. Go ahead and check that thing out. Everything that you need to know about us, you can find over there, everywhere that you need to follow, subscribe, etc. Every article, every other show that we're on, we put the appearances up there. You can find it all right there very easily. Also, on top of that, we have a college football show that comes out every Wednesday at some time that comes on sbrpicks.com/NCAAF or on the SBR Picks YouTube page. You can find it anywhere you get your YouTube. Just search out SBR Picks, and you will be able to find the college football show whenever it gets posted. So go ahead and check that out. It will be out today. It's not up yet, but it'll be out. So go ahead and check that bad boy out. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Brown Yeti already jumps in. He said, "Sup, fellas? It is nice to see some familiar faces. Good to have the Yeti in here. If you would like to be a part of the show, you can always jump in. We do the live show Mondays and Wednesday afternoons. So make sure that you are a part of it by jumping in on any of these platforms, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, or Twitch. And anything that if you chat on any of those platforms, it populates right here on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You can be a part of the show. You can drive whatever narrative you would like to. You can be a part of the conversation. Michael Fritz said, "What's up, fellas? Happy hump day." It is hump day indeed. I don't know about how happy because Chris and I are both busy as shit. So hence why the show is about an hour and 15 minutes later than usual. Chris, how is your day?
Busy, but we're here, so let's roll, man.
Let's roll. We got some topics to discuss. Let's start it off. Oh, by the way, Thursday night NFL draft live discussion, live stream, live show, whatever. We're going to be right here with the guys from the Westlot Pirates.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay.
Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you are right here and jump in that chat. We want you to be a part of the show. We're going to have a good time the entire first draft. We're going to be sitting here drinking some beverages, enjoying ourselves, telling some jokes, whatever. We're going to laugh at some teams because somebody's going to make a dumbass mistake, and we are going to be here to laugh about it. So, Brown Yeti, hang on, Gary. How have you seen my face? There's never been a photo of a Yeti taken. There have been plenty of photos of Yetis taken, and the Brown Yeti, I don't have to see your face to know that it's you, my friend. I'm just glad that you're here. So, let's dive in. The NCAA extended President Mark Emmert's contract.
Unanimously. Extended.
Now.
Unanimously. Not a question in the room about the man they want leading the NCAA.
Now, I will tell you this. This was not a surprise to me. The only surprise here was the fact that they felt the need to go on and extend it. If you looked at the letter that the NCAA put out, they send out these notes and meeting notes, whatever else. This was the fourth topic on the list. Wasn't that big of a deal. Kind of lets you know they were a little bit ashamed of it. But
it was 17 paragraphs in.
Yes, it's ridiculous. And it makes perfect sense because Mark Emmert does exactly what the Board of Governors wants him to do. There are 24 Board of Governors members from different schools and whatnot. Along with that, there is Ken Chenault, the former CEO of American Express. For some reason, he is a general catalyst, an independent member of this NCAA Board of Governors. Mary Sue Coleman, Association of American Universities, is also on this. Grant Hill, who represents the Atlanta Hawks for whatever reason, he is a member of the Board of Governors. Along with that, you have, let's see, Robert Gates, former Secretary of Defense. He is an independent counsel to the Board of Governors. You have, I'm going to go through some of these names, okay? Because these are the people that voted for it, and these are the people that run the NCAA. It is not Mark Emmert. Nothing that gets done in the NCAA is Mark Emmert. Now, he is the figurehead. He is the punching bag. He is the guy that takes the bullets for these guys, okay?
Well, I got some bullets for him. Not literally.
I'm not going to shout out the names.
Figuratively.
You can easily do a Google search and find who is on the NCAA Board of Governors, but these are the names, or the schools. The University of Colorado, North Carolina State University, these are all chancellors and presidents, right? University of Wisconsin, Oklahoma State University, Texas State University, University of Georgia, University of Houston, University of Buffalo, the State University of New York, M. Grace Calhoun from the University of Pennsylvania, Morgan State, Northern Arizona, the University of San Diego, Georgetown, Pittsburgh State, which is actually in Kansas, not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Emporia State University, which I believe is in Maine, if I'm not mistaken. And nope, I think it's Kansas as well. I think that's right. Let's see, University of South Carolina, Aiken. You ever heard of that one?
No.
Okay. Bates College, Hamline University, North Central College, which is in Illinois. These are the people that are running the NCAA. They are the ones that have to sign off on everything. Mark Emmert can't just go out and do what he wants to do. Anything that is decided upon, anything that is passed, anything that is da-da-da-da-da, is signed by all of the members of this board. These are the people to be mad at. We can get mad at Mark Emmert if we want to. The reason that they did this, I believe, is
No. Somebody being bad at their job has to take some burden of being bad at their job. Okay?
Okay.
Like just because these dumb sons of bitches put him in power, give him the hire, doesn't mean he just gets a pass for being shitty at his job.
Agreed. I will tell you why I think they went ahead and extended him, because his contract didn't run up until 2023. So they didn't have to do this right now. But there were rumors circulating around Baton Rouge that he was going to come back and be the new chancellor at LSU. So the NCAA got ahead of it and went ahead and signed him up for 2 more years. So that is what everybody's talking about, because remember, he was the chancellor at LSU when they hired Nick Saban. He was there until 2004. Then he took over at Washington. He was there from 2004 through 2010, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then in 2010, he took over as the president of the NCAA, and now he will have been at the NCAA for 15 years.
He's terrible at his job. I can't understand how not one of these people thought, you know what, I think he's done a really good job over this time. I think we should, not one person thought, maybe we should question this. Maybe we should seek out and see who else is available. Maybe we should kick the tires on, can we hire somebody better? Not one person thought that might be an interesting move. Everybody believed this is the man we want running this ship for the next 5 years.
Well, maybe he's not as dumb as we think he is. Because if he were able to parlay the rumor that he would go back to LSU into, a 2-year extension on this thing, I mean, it's not a terrible gig. Like, cheers to him for being willing to take the bullets. But all of this stuff,
he's not taking any bullets, Gary. What bullets has he taken?
Everybody blames him for everything.
What criticism does he ever get, ever? Outside of dumbasses on the internet like me.
No, he doesn't get any from inside the walls there, because he's not the one that makes the decisions. But there have been a lot of people that have talked about how bad the television contract is for the NCAA tournament. Like, yeah, that wasn't all on him. Like, he didn't just go into that thing blind. He went in with a whole team of advisors that were leading him into this television deal. So it's not just him. Like, I sound like I'm defending the guy.
I was going to say, but you sound like you're trying to become press secretary for Mark Emmert.
No, I'm just saying
that's what I feel. You're making a lot of excuses for him being really bad at his job.
We can say that, but I don't know what he really does. I think this job is more just figurehead than anything else.
No, Gary, you can't say the commissioner of something like this, the head of the NCAA, is just figurehead. there's no question in my mind he has to have some power in that room. All those people in that room, he obviously tells them what he wants. I want this job. Okay, we're going to let him keep doing this job. Like they all owe him something.
Yeah.
To want him in that chair.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So I think the people to blame for everything that has gone wrong with the NCAA is more this board of governors than it is anything else. Well, they're the ones that put him in power.
They keep giving him power. They keep putting him in power, but he is still ultimately responsible for being awful at his job.
That is true. That is true. The University of Pennsylvania, the University of Buffalo, Texas State University Chancellor, Oklahoma State University Chancellor, the Chancellor of Colorado. Those are the ones whose terms are up this August. Ken Chenault and Mary Sue Coleman from the Association of American Universities, they are all up in August as well. So they will be replaced on this Board of Governors. We'll see. I would have loved to have seen when the new people that came in, if they would have gone along with this, but who knows? I don't know what the term limits are on this. I would imagine it's 3 years, because that's the only thing I'm seeing. We've got some in August 2024. Maybe it's 4 years, but I haven't been able to find very much about.
I just want somebody to show one thing that he's done that's good. He's been in this job for a long time. The Title IX stuff has gotten significantly worse. Player safety has gotten significantly worse. Everything that he's supposed to be responsible for, the TV contracts that the NCAA is responsible for have gotten significantly worse. While they're more money than they've ever been, they're getting less value for their products than they've ever gotten. What has he done that says I'm the man for this job?
Oh, I can't answer that question. The only thing that I can tell you is
not
that
one person has ever came out and said, you know what, this is what he's really good at.
No, the only thing that he's been good at is being the punching bag. That's it. Ben, why are there corporate people on the board? He asks. Because every board, for whatever reason, has people that don't belong on the board. It's a politics thing.
That's a terrible reason to do something.
No, I
just
agree.
Because every board has it.
I'm not saying that's the reason why.
What the hell is Grant Hill doing?
You got me. I think it's okay to have Grant Hill on there. He's fine, but he's representing the Atlanta Hawks.
What do you think Grant Hill's an expert at?
Oh, he's a former NCAA player. But
everybody on this board is a former college person. They all are college educated. They all went to a university.
But how many
that
of them
doesn't give them?
How many of them know anything about? How many of them know anything about athletics? That's the thing.
What does Grant Hill know about the NCAA runnings of athletics? He knows nothing. Just because you played in a sport for 5 minutes doesn't mean anything. It's not like it was a college career and he was a coach and he's worked in the NCAA, ethos for decades.
Ken
Spent
Chenault
3 years in college. And he's gone.
Ken Chenault, I have no idea. Mary Sue Coleman, Association of American Universities. This, I feel like the majority of these people do not know what actually goes on with big-time college athletics. This is part of the reason why I believe that the P5 will eventually split from the NCAA. I really do think that that's going to happen. And this is a big part of it. You've got Northern Arizona and Pittsburgh State and Emporia State, et cetera, that are helping make decisions for big time. It's not the same at Alabama and LSU as it is at Bates College. It's just not. The rules aren't even the same. So, it's strange to me, but this is about par for the course from what we expect from the NCAA, right? It's not great.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not what
ineptitude.
It's not what anybody wanted, but
more flaws, more problems.
Yep. So Mark Emmert will be around until 2025, so long as he accepts the extension, which I'm assuming.
I'm sure he's going to accept it.
So either way, let's see. I'm seeing Casey jumping in already. Let's see, Matt Miller. Hey, LSU was flirting with Emmert as Prez to keep them out of trouble. Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Let's see. Matt Miller jumping in on the Panthers and Broncos trade. Let's go on and dive into that topic. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Panthers trade quarterback Teddy Bridgewater for a bag of potato chips, as Chris would say, a 6th-round pick. And here are the details for what is going on. Bridgewater agrees to a pay cut from $17 million to $11.5 million. The Panthers agreed to pay $7 million of that $11.5 million. The Panthers save $3 million off Bridgewater's guarantee, and they get a 6th-round pick. Teddy keeps $1.5 million of his non-guaranteed money. Interesting. I didn't see this one coming. Did you?
No. I like the deal a lot for the Broncos.
Yes.
And I'm just working on the assumption that within just a few days of talking to Sam Darnold, they just have to be completely sold that Sam and a rookie are the best way to go.
That's what I think. I think that they realized they paid too much money to Teddy, that they weren't ready to put a bunch of money into a quarterback yet. They still have a ton of team building that they have to do. They get one more bite of the apple with the 6th-round pick. Why not? You know, that's Matt Rule loves to draft, so why not? And I think he thinks they can be just as good with Darnold's
still cheap for 2 years.
Exactly.
You still got Darnold on his rookie deal for this year and the 5th-year option if you want it.
Yep.
So Darnold costs you virtually nothing in the scope of what quarterbacks cost over the next 2 years.
And a rookie will cost basically nothing. So
basically nothing.
Casey said,
if you can show Darnold being good at any level at all, and you like the rookie you draft, whoever it may be, then you could probably sell Darnold for a pretty good prize.
Yep, you got that right. Casey said Panthers are going to regret trading Bridgewater. Let's see. Matt Miller said, as a Broncos fan, I think the 49ers and Broncos being such good friends, I think the Niners take Lance. That's who the Broncos wanted in the trade for Teddy was the backup option. Let's see. Or I think he said, I think they let them know. Brown Yeti said, because someone shoots at you, why are you in a talking about Mark Emmert. Sorry. Taking bullets and whatnot. Let's see. Casey jumping in to Seth Williams, number 1 wide receiver in this draft. Devontae Smith, close second. Don't agree with that, but totally fair to have your own opinion. Cheers to that. Let's see. Here's Michael Fritch. I'm happy to see Denver add a veteran who can push Locke and maybe beat him out for the job. Peyton is making Locke earn the job, unlike Elway, who refused to bring in competition for his quarterback picks. I think getting Bridgewater for a 6th, only paying him $3 million is a steal. Denver might still be in the mix to take quarterback at 9 or move up. I don't think that they're in the quarterback drafting mode.
I don't know. I think it's going to determine who's there. I wouldn't take them completely out of it.
I mean, if Justin Fields is still there, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Casey said Bridgewater's better than Sam Darnold. Yeah, but he cost a lot more.
Yeah, it costs. Yeah, I was going to say, one's on a rookie deal and one's not.
This is a cost-saving thing. This is about the team needing to get better around the quarterback position, not just at the quarterback position. So, let's see. Casey said this wasn't an Adam Gase thing. Sam is another overrated quarterback prospect that threw interception. Now, we think that. We certainly agree with that, right?
I think there's a world in which Sam Darnold's not very good. But
yeah, man, you can't.
But I also think that they're not going to go into this year with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. And I think they would rather come into it with a rookie in Sam than a rookie in Teddy, which is why they made the deal, because Sam is much cheaper than Teddy if you think your rookie's going to start right away.
I do agree with that.
That's the assessment of how they've maneuvered their locker room to get where they've gotten is Sam Darnold the best option to be a backup than Teddy Bridgewater? The answer to that is yes, because he's a lot cheaper.
Yes.
And you know that you want to go forward with a rookie, then that's what's going to happen.
Michael said, even if Denver keeps Locke and he wins the job, Locke still hasn't proven he can stay healthy, so having a solid quarterback is a no-brainer. I
don't think there's anywhere close. I just do not think Drew Lock is close to Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is the second coming of Joe Montana, okay? But he's a hell of a lot better than Drew Lock. He just is.
Yeah, he takes care of the ball. He may not have some of the explosive plays that Lock has, but he's a lot more consistent.
He won't lose you games. He won't win you. He might not win you games, but that roster is pretty solid, pretty loaded. If they can get a good offensive identity, then they won't need him to make huge plays to win it. They just need him to keep from turning the ball over and losing it.
We had Joseph Gomez ask, would you trade Christian McCaffrey? I would because of his contract.
It all depends on what you get for Christian McCaffrey. Like, everybody's tradable. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would trade Patrick Mahomes tomorrow if I got enough for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
you
think
just
that's
got to
fair.
ask what's the price. That's the difference.
Matt Miller said, if the Broncos pass on Fields at 9, I've lost all faith in the front office. I don't know about all that. I mean, it depends. Like, we don't know why everybody's talking about Fields dropping. I don't know what's happening. But you never know. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, right? Brown Yeti, did it take that long to go through, or am I way behind at 6:28? No, it didn't take that long. We're talking, so I'm having to get to it. Let's see. Simon Coolhand, Darnold's fifth-year option is $18 million. Is that right?
That's it. Yeah, the 15-year option for rookies would be that. But
Okay,
you got
so
this
then you
year
can't have both
on the
of them.
cheap deal to know that, and then you can dump him or not.
There you go. Let's see. Do you think Robbie Anderson pushed for Sam to become a Panther? I mean, I'm sure it didn't hurt anything. Like,
I didn't say, Casey, I didn't say that the Chiefs would trade him. I said I would trade him.
Yeah, no, it depends. I mean, if you got Russell Wilson and, a ton of draft picks and
If you get me Russell Wilson and 3 first-round picks, I would trade Patrick Mahomes tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd pack his shit and throw him out the door.
Everybody is tradable.
Everybody's tradable. Every house is for sale. Everybody has a price.
You got it. Let's see. Locke and Bridgewater were 1 and 2 from Matt Miller. CMC, Christian McCaffrey for a 2 this year and a 3 next year. His salary an issue. Can't see a 1 being traded.
There's zero chance that I would pay. Here's the thing. If I was offered a 1 and a 2 for Christian McCaffrey, his ass would be on a bus.
Yep. But what if it's a 2 and a 3?
Probably not.
I mean, it makes sense. They signed him to what was it, $64 million contract?
I mean,
over
I'll
4
tell you
years?
this. Like, I wouldn't have signed him to that contract, though.
I agree.
So,
there.
I mean, if somebody else is going to eat all that contract and I get zero dead money on it and I'm 100% free and clear, I probably still do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in paying running backs, though. That's just a philosophy I have, and it might bite me in the ass, and he might become the next Adrian Peterson that just is worth every nickel he's ever been paid. But that's kind of the only running back I've ever seen that was worth every nickel that was ever paid.
Yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry so far, but like he's still on some pretty cheap deals right now. So
yes, well, no, that's right. When he starts making 20-25 million a year, he's just not going to be worth it. He's just not.
You're 100% right about that. Let's move on. Let's talk NFL draft. Let's actually talk NFL draft. First pick, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence already got the playbook. That's done. New York Jets at 2. It is widely assumed, widely speculated that it's Zach Wilson. I heard an interesting story, and I can't remember what podcast it was on, but somebody was talking about the idea that the 49ers maybe are floating Mac Jones so much that the Jets might want to take Mac Jones instead of Zach Wilson. No, it's a little fluky, it's whatever. But if the 49ers really want Zach Wilson or whoever, and they're trying to push this Mac Jones narrative into, he's the best quarterback in this draft, and da-da-da-da-da, and everybody respects Kyle Shanahan, then, I mean, that could really throw some things up in the air if that is the case. All it would do is really change 2 and 3, but I think a lot of people would be shocked if it's not Zach Wilson at this point, right?
Yeah, it's weird because the head coach of the Jets is the former DC for Kyle Shanahan. How much is Kyle's influence going to matter to him?
Exactly. So
Bruce Arians said a couple of years ago, if he wanted to do the ultimate smokescreen on draft day, literally the day before the draft, he'd call a press conference and he would tell everybody exactly what he's planning. Because the rule is everything anybody says before the draft is all a lie.
Yeah.
It's all a lie. He said if you wanted to throw everybody totally off your scent, you would call a press conference and you would tell them everything you're really going to do, because they're going to work under the assumption that what he just said is what he's not going to do. So now they got to figure out what he is really going to do. And then it's one of those, basically, I know you knew, I thought you were going to switch it, but I swapped it the other way. Kind of weird things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, period. Like tell me this. So we had Michael jump in. Do you guys really believe in Wilson being the second pick? I just don't think he's that good, but it makes sense that the Jets would take an overrated quarterback at 2. I'll go ahead and tell you that I don't necessarily believe in Zach Wilson. I think that he has potential, but Man, what we saw last year is not him. The year before, when he was actually playing against Power 5 defenses, he had 11 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. And he's been hurt multiple times. Like, this past year didn't get hurt. But, my God, if you look at the competition that BYU played last year, they played nobody. Like, I don't
care. That's such a stupid argument.
Well, give me your argument then.
That's a stupid reason to not like somebody, is because the guys they played weren't very good. We have seen a history book of guys play in small schools and come out really good. Okay. We just have. I don't know where we just decided. It's just recently that if you played at a small school, you can't be any good.
I'm not saying that because he played at BYU, he can't be very good. What I'm saying is when he went up against good competition, he wasn't very good.
When did he go up against good competition and he wasn't good?
The only good team that he played this year was Coastal Carolina.
Okay, and he was fine in that game. So one game, you're going to make an opinion on this guy.
No, it's not just one game. It's he looks great against weak competition, and he looks bad against better competition.
But you only watched him against one game against good competition.
No.
So you're making your assessment off of that one game.
He is a 3-year starter, except for when he was hurt.
I understand that. He's also only 21 years old.
Okay, so are you telling me that you're buying into Zach Wilson at number 2?
I don't mind Zach Wilson. I think if he goes to the Jets, then I think he's going to have a bad career. But I think that's more to do with the Jets than him. All right?
Okay.
But I think Zach Wilson's a really good quarterback. And if he ends up with the 49ers, there's a world in which 4 years from now, he's the best quarterback in this draft. Okay.
That's entirely possible.
If he ends up with a team like the Colts or with a team with an offensive guru team, if he ended up, Patrick Mahomes blew his knee out and somehow he ends up with Andy Reid, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. Yeah. Going to the Jets doesn't mean that he was a bust. All right. Because the things that Sam Darnold did bad in the NFL in college, to where I don't believe in him, was giving the football to the other team. That's something that I believe, my opinion, that if you do that against college competition, you're going to do that the rest of your life. You cannot have that coached out of you. I've never seen a player have that coached out of them.
I mean,
once in my life.
It was the same thing with Jameis Winston.
Yes, but those are two examples. There's lots of examples of guys that turn the ball over a lot in college, and guess what? When they got to the pros and the defenses are a lot better, they continue to turn the ball over. That's the only thing that really scares me. I think all of these guys, if they go to the right systems, if they go under good coaching to teams that actually support them, can be successful. I think 0 of these guys would be a bust if they end up with the 49ers. None of them. The list of 5, if you rotate all 5 of them through there, I think all of them we would say that was a home run draft pick.
That's by the way, so the first 2 years for Jared Goff with the Rams, only threw 7 picks in his first 2 seasons each, right? So 7 in 2016, 7 in 2017. But then he went 32 touchdowns, 12 picks in 2018, 22 touchdowns, 16 picks in 2019, and then 20 touchdowns and 13 picks in 2020. That was another one that under Sonny Dykes, Dykes? Is that the one that's at SMU right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, when he was the Cal coach, he was Jared Goff's coach. Under him, he threw a ton of interceptions, which is why I wasn't sold on him being the number 1 pick overall in that draft. And yet Sean McVay was able to. You can't
coach out of people.
Yeah.
Sean McVay was able to put handcuffs on you. And his first year under Jeff Fisher, they just ran the football all the time because Jeff Fisher doesn't know how to run an offense.
Yep. So they had the handcuffs on him in the first season. He only threw 7 picks to 28 touchdowns. And then, of course, 12, 16, 13 interceptions the next 3 years. So, yeah, you can't teach it out of somebody. Like, they're going to take – if they're a risk taker.
But I think – my opinion on Zach Wilson is I think Zach Wilson's a really good quarterback. Do I like him second overall in this draft? No. I like Justin Fields second. I think Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in this draft. But I also think that if he goes to the wrong place, Justin Fields is going to be a bust. I also think if he goes to the right place, he could be the best quarterback in this draft when it's all said and done.
What do you
Too
think?
much of these guys' success or failure lands on where they end up. I swear to God, I wish, and I had this conversation with Scuzz, I wish I could make some type of snap of my fingers, and I just want to see what Patrick Mahomes would have looked like under 3 years at Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Like, are you so good at football that you can overcome this ineptitude? Are you that good? And then what happens if Sam Darnold's under Andy Reid? Does Andy Reid just beat the shit out of him until he stops turning the ball over? I mean, I don't know. At some point in time, I just assume if he keeps turning the ball over under Andy Reid's going to throw some guy that bags groceries in there.
Yeah,
because he's not going to let you throw 20 interceptions, because at some point in time he's just going to sit your ass down.
Well, I mean, if they had Sam Darnold instead of Patrick Mahomes, I'd wonder if they ever get rid of Alex Smith.
Well, yeah, that's right. We have a completely different bizarro story. Is Sam ever good enough to take Alex's job? Yeah. And then Alex is still there forever. But these are questions that we're never going to have the answer to. Yeah. The Jets are going to take somebody. And unless just some weird stroke of luck, the Jets have all figured out how to get out of their own way. Now, listen, it looks like the Bengals are trying to do that. It looks like my Browns have turned that corner. We'll see. But it's not impossible to change your stars, all right?
Yeah.
But it's going to take a lot of work for anybody who comes in and to try to be the savior of New York. It just is.
Brown Yeti said, I feel like Zach feels just like Locke to me. Simon Coolhand, as far as the story of maybe he's trying to get the Jets to, do whatever, talking about Kyle Shanahan. Simon Coolhand said, I know minus 5,000 shots do not always win. When it comes to the draft, they pretty much do. Wilson is 50-1 or minus 5,000 U.S. prices to go for the Jets. He's got a massive bust factor attached. But, when the odds are 5,000 to 1, or whatever, that's insane. It's going to hit. It's going to be Zach Wilson. Let's move on to number 3, 49ers. You still on the Kyle Pitts bandwagon?
Man, there's a world where I think I am. I don't know. I think it's probably going to be wrong, but I think that's the right answer. I really do. I mean, that's the conversation I had with John LeCombs is when your options are, Trey Lance or Mac Jones, the answer is Kyle Pitts. When the question is who do I take at 3, Trey Lance or Mac Jones? Well, it's Kyle Pitts. That's the answer. That's the answer to your question. But if you're just so gung-ho on a quarterback, I don't know,
The odds at number 3, Mac Jones is minus 210 at BetOnline right now. Trey Lance plus 250, Justin Fields plus 300, and then Kyle Pitts is plus 3,300. So Zach Wilson is plus 5,000. So there is a world where they think that. But either way, the fourth option for the second pick overall is Penei Sewell. So it's Zach Wilson minus 5,000, Justin Fields plus 1,000.
I don't think there's any way on earth they're taking an offensive lineman.
I don't think so either.
If they took Jamar Chase or if they took Kyle Pitts, it would not shock me at all. Okay, because Kyle likes offense, he likes weapons, and whatever. I'd be shocked if they moved up to take an O lineman. But hell, maybe I'm wrong. He does like his offensive line zone blocking scheme, so maybe, but.
He certainly does. I'm looking at some of these numbers. Some of these guys that they've got, Elijah Vera Tucker, over under 16.5. All these, I'm having fun with this. But let's get back to the top 10.
Casey's falling into the same trap that everybody else falls into. They can't trade 3 first-round picks to move up to 3. They didn't. They traded 2 first-round picks to move up to 3 because they just swapped their other pick. It's not like they gave up 3 picks. They would have gotten 3 and then kept their other pick.
Yeah, they traded 2.
They gave 2 extra picks to move up. That's what it cost them, not 3. Let's stop exaggerating things.
That's it. Yeah, I see the chat went a little crazy.
And then he says you can't do that for a tight end.
He's not a tight end.
Have you seen the way football is played today? He's
not a tight end.
But even if he is, it doesn't matter.
Agreed.
Everybody in the world, every franchise in the world would have killed to have Gronk in his prime. Every franchise right now would murder, every owner would murder a member of their family. Just put everybody they're related to on a wheel, spin it, take their chances to get Travis Kelce on their team. Right now, every one of them.
Kyle Pitts, his size is much more in the vein of Megatron than any other tight end. Like he's not a blocking tight end. He's a wide receiver.
So the fact that he has a TE next to his name has to stop. Stop. That is people who are just antiquated and outdated, and they don't see the game for what it is right now. Because all 31 other franchises would seriously do anything they could except for get rid of their franchise quarterback to have a Travis Kelce or a Gronk in his prime or something of that nature. A George Kittle right now. That's it.
To give Casey credit, he did say, I love Pitts. I know he's not just a tight end. He's a universal talent and a weapon, but quarterback is definitely the pick. He said they better hope Lance is there because if not, their future's over. I don't know about that. I trust Kyle Shanahan enough to know he could win with Mac Jones or Trey Lance or Zach Wilson or Justin Fields.
Or any of them.
Yeah, he can win with anybody. Like
that's the thing is if one ends up in, in the 49ers and the other one ends up in Denver, let's say, they take one of these guys still or whatever, and they don't work out, like we're going to call one a bust and we're going to say one is a star. But really, I swear, if you just flip-flopped them, the one that ended up in one place is probably still be a star and the other one's going to end up being the bust. And it's where they land. It's supporting cast.
Brown Yeti jumped in. Tight end is now just a label to hopefully trick the DC to put a linebacker on them. That's probably correct. Michael Fritz,
it's also a label to keep them grossly underpaid.
That's 100% true. Michael Fritz said Pitts and Kittle would be very similar to Hernandez and Gronk minus the murders.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very much so. Maybe more explosive, but yeah, Casey, it's Trey Lance or Mac Jones, and Jones doesn't have the ceiling of Lance. I'll agree with that. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Simon Coolhand, it's 100% that Mac goes 3. See, I don't know that I necessarily buy that. Like, is it going to shock me? Obviously, no, because it's been talked about so much. I could totally see him working in a Kyle Shanahan offense. It does seem a little high, but with what Kyle Shanahan has said in the last few days about wanting to make sure that they've got the right guy to run the offense if Gronk goes down, I could see Jones doing that. The risk with Fields or with Lance is that they don't run, or they're not capable of running what Kyle wants them to do, right? Like that's the risk. Mac Jones, Sark runs almost the same kind of thing that Kyle Shanahan does. So, I don't know. Like I could see it happening. If they go with Lance, it wouldn't surprise me because I think the upside is there. You don't really know much because he only played 13 college games, I believe. Yeah. So you don't really know what you're getting, but obviously he's got the size and he's got the upside. So it's all, do you want to go on potential or do you want to go with a almost finished product? And I don't know. It seems it's weird what the 49ers have done, and they have thrown a wrench into this whole thing. Let's move on to 4, the Falcons. Kyle Pitts is expected to be the pick, I guess. But would it shock you if they went quarterback?
Yes, they're not going quarterback.
All right, so why I guess so the Pitts thing makes a whole lot more sense, especially given all the Julio Jones talk and whatnot. Is it going to surprise you to see him traded maybe on Thursday?
No, I think he could be traded by the end of the day before the draft starts.
I think you're probably right. Right.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Hey, do you know the details on this? It's June 1st that they would have to make this deal for Julio Jones. Does that mean that they can make the trade on draft night and get those draft picks because they wouldn't be paid until after June 1st? Or would it be you could only trade for picks next year? Do you know how this works?
No, I think he could be traded for picks this year.
I think it just has it can't go on the books.
I don't know that.
Until,
shit, that's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird setup. I don't know exactly why the money works this way, but basically if they trade him after June 1st, they're going to owe him nothing, basically. If they trade him before that, then they have to pay a certain amount. I don't even understand.
I'm going to tell you with the Panthers trading Teddy, I believe that's going to make teams more aggressive to trade up if they want a quarterback. to this pick. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to get offered a deal they can't refuse. I think them and the Lions are going to end up trading back, both of them.
I will say this, Albert Breer. So here's the latest NFL rumors, right? Let me roll through these kind of quick. New England and Carolina have discussed a deal to get the Patriots the number 8 pick. That's per Albert Breer with the Monday Morning Quarterback. Seahawks general manager John Schneider expects Russell Wilson to be in saddle for a long while. The Washington football team could trade up from number 19 to the top 10. That's Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano. Penei Sewell is not expected to fall past number 8. The Giants are a, quote, sneaky contender to trade up and acquire Sewell. That's Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano. Falcons general manager Terry Fontenot said Wednesday Atlanta wants to land, quote, an impact player, whether it's someone who's going to sit or is going to play on day one. Caleb Farley tested positive for COVID-19, so he is not going to attend the draft. And the Dolphins have agreed to terms to trade starting left tackle Eric Flowers to the Washington football team in a deal that includes a swap of late picks. That's what's going on in the NFL currently. I think it would have to be Pitts. I think he can be a franchise player for a decade longer.
Like I said, I think they're going to trade out of this pick.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Because they don't need Pitts. Like they got a couple of needs, and I'm sure they would love to have him. But at the same time, I think somebody's going to offer them the moon. Yeah, I really do. Because now, I bet that report about the Panthers trading back was before they traded Teddy.
Yeah,
with Teddy and Darnold, they were probably set at quarterback and couldn't justify taking one. Now, I think they're in the market to take one, and they might be one of the teams trying to trade up.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I think a quarterback still goes here, but I don't think it goes to Atlanta.
Number 5, the Bengals. What are you thinking for Cincy?
If Chase is there, I think they're taking Chase.
I think that's the way the tea leaves are reading right now. And
here's the logic behind it. It's not a Burrow thing. I don't think they're letting Joe make this pick. Okay, so I don't know how to watch and read these things. I'm not smart enough about football to be able to do that. But I read an article where 20% of Joe Burrow's sacks were all coverage sacks.
Oh, no. It was higher than that. It was 32%.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah. It was. I knew it was a high number. But anyway, we're all coverage sacks. And if you bring in a guy like Chase, that actually gets him sacked less than bringing in one stud offensive lineman, because we saw in Houston adding a elite offensive lineman still left you with the shitty offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is one of those things where they need desperately to address their line. But if they get weapons and they change their offense to where they get the ball out quicker, then you don't have to worry about it. I think that wide receiving core is going to give people problems if that's the play.
Now, if Kyle Pitts is available, is he the pick?
No,
not here.
No, I think they take Chase over Pitts, and I don't think it's close.
Casey said Bengals would be smart to trade back. There's a lot of good offensive tackle talent. Yeah, there certainly is. The problem here is that literally everybody after 3, there is talk about them trading back, and you have to have trade partners. You
basically have 4, 5, and 6 all not needing a quarterback, and so all of those guys would trade back once you get to, the Panthers, Broncos, that next level. Those guys are all interested in trading up for a quarterback. So therein lies the issue, is because you're right, so many people want to trade back, you're not going to get good value for it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm starting to feel here. And so going on some of these numbers, by the way, Fantasy Pros, they have the mock draft consensus, and this is the 22. Here we go. We've compiled 22 mock drafts from the top NFL draft sites. This is from about an hour ago. So they have 60% of the mock drafts have Penei Sewell. 45% of the mocks have Kyle Pitts to Atlanta. 68% have Mac Jones to the 49ers. 100% have Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. As far as the 49ers go, 22% have Trey Lance. 9% still have Justin Fields. For the Falcons, 31% have Trey Lance. 18% have Justin Fields. Jamar Chase is 40% to the Bengals with 60% Penei Sewell. Then with the Dolphins, you've got, 75% of them have the Dolphins taking Jamar Chase, 16% have Jalen Waddle, and 8% have Devontae Smith. So it looks like Dolphins are going wide receiver. They're going to get to with some help. I think that's too bad. Whoever's there, they're probably going to take them. If Kyle Pitts is still on the board at that point, if there's been a trade, if there's been whatever, I think it would make sense for the Dolphins to go Pitts, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Like give Tua that security blanket.
Weapons.
Yeah.
There's also a world where they're thinking about trading back. Like I said, if you don't need a quarterback, it's in your best option to at least try to sell your pick to somebody who's desperate for a quarterback.
Yeah, because there's a lot of talent outside of the quarterback position that you can grab at a later spot. Like it's, you know, Brown Yeti said since he can probably get a decent O-line guy with their second pick, there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be
there's going to be a lot of offensive linemen in this draft. No, there's going to be a bunch of guys that are going to go, and they're going to go late and or later outside of the first. So
Ryan McCracken said, "What's the chances the Jets jump and take Fields?" Not good. I don't think that's happening.
0, probably close to 0.
I'll put it at 1%. Why not? You know, you never know with that bunch.
Close to 0.
Michael said, does the lack of competition Lance has played against hurt him, or would you guys just look at his potential? Well, I mean, the only thing you can look at is potential. Like, he's played nothing like an NFL defense in the FCS. Like, it's not even...
Yeah, neither did Josh Allen, so...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, there's nothing that's even remotely... I don't know. I mean, Josh Allen at least got to play against, like, Iowa's defense, you know. But North Dakota State, like, I think they played Kansas State the year that Trey Lance had, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions or whatever. You know, you're going based on potential with him. You know, in the national championship game that they won rather handily, he only threw the ball 11 times. Like, his big thing is he can run, and he's got an arm, and he's big. Like, who knows? So you don't know what you're getting with him. The upside is really, like, it looks really good, so long as he can be coached well. Casey says Dolphins should go quarterback. What? Do you think the Dolphins should go quarterback?
Gary.
Sorry, I was it just caught me off guard. I was just I was shocked. Brown Yeti, hypothetical, if Fields would have stayed and was coming out of Georgia, would the Falcons be 100% on him if he was available?
Yeah, so I heard this today. Peter Schrager talked about this on one of the podcasts I listened to. Peter Schrager said something interesting. He asked all of the scouts that he had talked to that have Fields falling, and he asked them, what are your negatives on him? And 3 of them gave him the same answer. And he said, it doesn't make any sense. We don't see anything in his game that concerns us, but why did Kirby Smart pick Jake Fromm over him? This is why some of these scouts are dumb as shit. This is why I swear to God, if you're making this decision, if you're passing on this kid because Kirby Smart's dumbass thought Jake Fromm was going to be better than him, and you think Fromm sucks, what you're using that logic because we don't see a flaw in his game. We just don't know why Kirby picked Jake Fromm over him.
Why would any of these scouts trust the opinion of Kirby Smart? That makes no sense.
3 different scouts told Peter Schrager that.
I mean, it was pretty easy to figure out. Like, anybody can see it from the outside. Like, Fields was a freshman with not a ton of starting experience because he didn't start in high school until I think his junior year.
And
but
Fromm was a crazy high recruit, just like Fields.
Well, he wasn't as high as Fields. He was a 4-star, but Fromm just led them to a national championship appearance the season before. Like, why would you not stick with the guy that got you there?
I'm telling you, this is from a guy that's deep inside the NFL. So,
ooh, man,
this is why I don't trust any of these scouts at all in their opinions on them. I listen and I watch film. I watch the games. I watch these guys play. I don't watch workouts. I don't care about any of that bullshit, okay? I don't have access to medicals. I watch these kids play. And then I make a decision on what I think based on how they play.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
And I look at the game and the way the game is being played now. My only knock on Mac Jones is this. Mac Jones is the least athletic of all these quarterbacks, and outside of Tom Brady, unless you can tell me he's going to be that accurate and that good of a decision maker and that strong of a leader, I need my quarterback to be athletic.
Yeah. And
because
that's
every
fair.
other great quarterback is athletic.
It makes perfect sense.
And the chances of him being Tom are less than one of these other guys being Russell Wilson.
It's less than the odds of the Jets taking Justin Fields.
Yeah. So
I tend to agree with you.
That's my logic. Now, once again, if he ends up at Kyle Shanahan, I think he's going to be unbelievable and everybody's going to say, ha ha, you were wrong. Okay. I guess I was wrong. I don't
But not really,
know
because
that
you
I'm
put the caveat in there.
Yeah,
like if
because,
he goes to Kyle
I'm
Shanahan,
very clear that I think Kyle can fix anybody.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if he goes to New England, I'm gonna be worried because while I love Josh is Kyle, I don't think Josh is Kyle. By the way,
yeah. Brown Yeti, by the way, I don't think Kirby thought he was better. I think he thought Fromm had a lower floor. I think he means a higher
I completely
floor.
agree. Kirby Smart was doing the Nick Saban move, which is I'm sticking with the guy that's safe.
Yeah, the guy that's not going to turn the football over because they had the number one defense in the country that year.
Because Nick hadn't yet gone to a super athletic guy yet, and he was still playing very conservative football.
Yeah, I mean, he had Jalen Hurts in 2018 starting over – well, no, 2017, he had Jalen Hurts starting over Tua. Like, Tua really didn't get meaningful game action until the second half of the Georgia game. So, let's see. Brown Yeti, I don't think he's a defensive guy, so he only sees how bad the quarterback could have played, not how good. Casey said Devontae Smith, head and shoulders better than Chase and Waddle, in my opinion. So he certainly has the numbers, right? But there's still that whole thing about him weighing 166. Like, he's tiny. Like, he's a little dude. They call him a Slim Reaper for a reason. Like, he's just a little dude. I think he and Chase are very similar. Very similar. And with Chase, you got size. So, Jamar Chase was bananas in 2019. Like, don't let the fact
I was just about to say, I don't know that he has the numbers because I think Chase's numbers in 2019 are pretty damn good.
Oh, they're certainly good, but that's not to take anything away from Devontae Smith's numbers. I mean, he won a Heisman Trophy last week. He's still got good numbers.
He won a Heisman Trophy because it was a really shitty year.
Oh, well, okay, I can get with that. But even in that shitty year, he was the one that came away with the trophy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that he's head and shoulders better than Chase and Waddle. I don't buy that at all.
He's not. He's just saying shit, Gary.
I think like I'll let Casey jump in here with some thoughts here and there. Like
he's jumped in with a lot of them. That's fine.
He said Devontae Smith is a better Tyler Lockett. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Look, let's get to this number 7 pick because we're running a little long.
How far are we going in this fucking thing?
Just number 10.
Okay.
That's
Jesus Christ.
Detroit Lions, 38% of the drafts have them taking Justin Fields.
That won't happen.
Yeah, I don't think
be wrong.
I don't think they're going quarterback. But 15% of the mocks have them taking Trey Lance. 30% have them taking Devontae Smith.
Well, I don't think they're going to take any of those, so I think all of them are wrong.
Who would you have them taking?
I think they'll either trade out or they'll take Micah Parsons or they'll take an offensive lineman.
Micah Parsons seems like perfect for them, right?
But
like
that's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to take the best defensive player or they're going to take the best offensive lineman. I don't think they're taking a quarterback, and they're damn sure not taking a receiver. This new head coach and this new regime just got 6-year deals. They are going to try to build this thing from the trenches out because that's how you start a new team.
That makes sense. Number 8, the Panthers, they've got them taking Rashawn Slater. Now, obviously, this was a little while ago, but 55% Rashawn Slater, 11% Jalen Waddle, 11% Trey Lance. I don't know what the Panthers do at this point. I think it's quarterback.
I think the Panthers are taking quarterback. I think I know what they're going to do, but
whoever's
I don't know
left,
what quarterback's going to be there.
Yeah,
so
it's whoever's left.
I think they're going to take whoever's left.
Denver Broncos at number 9. Trey Lance, 55%. Probably not going to happen at this point. Micah Parsons at 33%, and J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina, 11%. I don't see J.C. Horn going for the Broncos.
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
I could see Parsons going there for sure.
Yeah,
like
Parsons.
If the Lions don't take him, I could 100% see Micah Parsons going to the Broncos. I mean, that fits Vic Fangio like a glove, man. So I'm all over that one if that is in fact the way that they go. I don't think that they are going quarterback anymore. So I don't think that's anything to worry about. And then
Yeah,
finally,
I would be shocked if they go quarterback now.
the Dallas Cowboys, 84% of the mocks have them taking Patrick Surtain, 10% J.C. Horn, and 5% Kwity Paye, the edge rusher from Michigan. I mean, anybody besides Patrick Surtain, would that surprise you?
I mean, Horn. There are a lot. Peter Schrager said on the podcast I listened to today. Peter Schrager said that he
thinks Horn's better.
Just a lot of scouts have Horn 1 and Surtain 2. He thinks they really are interchangeable, coin flip, and just depends on who you like.
I don't think there's any way that they go offense here.
Who the Cowboys? No, so the question was posed to Peter was, what happens if somebody like Pitts falls? Like, can you keep Jerry from pulling the trigger?
Man, if it's Pitts, like,
that's the question, right? Like, but here's the thing: Pitts still doesn't help them win football games because you're only going to be able to score so much.
Yeah, but if you get Pitts, then you can maybe trade away one of those offensive weapons to get something to shore up your defense, right?
I don't think you can, because nobody's going to give you a defensive player.
Yeah, man, that is.
If it wasn't Jerry Jones, everybody in the league would be like, yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the two cornerbacks, right? But the fact that we've got the Jerry factor in here, you got to take that into account of this guy's a little crazy.
Michael Fritz jumps in and said, aside from quarterback, I'd like to see the Broncos get an upgrade for right tackle or someone to cover Kelsey. Well, that'd be Rashawn
So a lot
Slater.
of people think that the Broncos will take Slater.
Yeah, I mean, he's the betting favorite now.
Now, as of right now, which I think that's the smart move.
Man, I saw a comment. Simon Coolhand. Parsons isn't going to be the first linebacker off the board. Markets are out on this one. Then who would be the linebacker? I mean,
who's the linebacker?
The Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah kid.
It's a bad draft for defensive guys. It's a really bad draft for defensive guys.
So there's the linebacker from Notre Dame. There's Zaven Collins, the linebacker out of Tulsa. But other than that, like, I think Micah Parsons, without a doubt, is the top linebacker in this draft. Do you think it hurts him at all that he sat out last year?
So I think people are trying to make it seem like it's going to hurt him. But remember, if he doesn't sit out last year, going in before last year's 2020 draft, Micah Parsons would have been a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
In last year's draft, I can't imagine him falling too far in the 2020 draft, seeing as this draft is way worse than last year's draft overall talent-wise, especially at defensive positions. Like, they're way more scarce in this draft than they were in that draft. So I would be shocked.
Michael jumped in. He said, Casey is killing me with this Kentucky bias. Casey jumped in with Davis being the first linebacker off the board.
I know.
But that's not going to happen.
I know.
Casey said if Pitts is there, Jerry's taking him, and Michael Gallup's just getting traded. That would be my thought.
Who's going to give you anything for Michael? You might get a 4th round pick right now for Michael Gallup. Good job. Maybe. Congratulations. Enjoy that defensive player. That's really going to help shore things up. You're still going to score 49 points a game, and you're still going to lose.
I think you have to. But isn't there something to, like, in the draft needing to take, like, the best player available?
That's what they did last year. They were
can you not do it 2 years in a row?
Everybody in the league said they were taking Chasem, and CD fell, and they were like, well, shit. Like, we're just taking CD. CD wasn't even on their board. They only had 7 defensive players on their board last year. Did not have an offensive player on their draft board.
Didn't think anything would be available. Yeah.
Well, no, there were offensive guys that would have been available.
No, not CeeDee Lamb. They didn't think that those wide receivers.
They didn't think CeeDee would be there. CeeDee was there. Throw the board away. We're taking CeeDee. Great.
I cannot wait to see what ends up happening.
I mean, I kind of hope Pitts falls that far just because I'd like to see it.
I would love to see Jerry. Yeah.
I just want to watch Jerry.
71% of the mocks have your Patriots at 15 taking Micah Parsons. 71%.
That makes that would be the Bill Belichick move, by the way.
All of the top three are linebackers at 15. If the Patriots stay there, it's Michael Parsons 71%, Zaven Collins 14%, which makes perfect sense because Zaven Collins.
I've got everything in my body hoping that either they move up or Fields falls. That's all I want.
Yeah, I could see it.
That's all I want.
All right, we are going to have a whole lot more to discuss tomorrow night on the live show. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. It's been over an hour, so I think that we can do that. It's been a pretty good day. I think. Don't forget, join us live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be right here rolling through all of this. We're going to have draft props tomorrow night. We're going to have a lot to talk about, especially early on, if the two picks that start us off begin the way that we all think that they will. But we're going to be here right when this thing kicks off, and we will be here. We'll have a ticker actually on our screen, so you can stay updated right here, watch along with us, and we will have a good time. Michael Fritz said, can I get a Pitts and Fant pairing in Denver? Boy, that'd be something else. You want Teddy Bridgewater to have some more weapons? Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right,
right.
Casey, Simon, Michael, Brown Yeti, all these guys, we appreciate you all for being here with us. Go check out winningcureseverything.com. Go check out sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Chris, is there anything else that has happened that we need to discuss?
Nope, that's it. Let's get out of here.
Wonderful. All right, you guys have been awesome. Thank you all for jumping in the chat. We certainly appreciate it. If you haven't already, like the video. Make sure you are subscribed so that you can be here tomorrow night. And tell somebody about it. If you like the show, tell them. If you don't, what does Pat McAfee say? Act like it didn't happen. Act like it didn't happen. You guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, and hopefully all of your tickets cash tomorrow night. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice